So the more you practice, the better you get. A lot of guys, big guys, are gonna go down because they don't see it coming because all their partners are not throwing it.
So I could be the first heavyweight back kicker.
That's right, first heavyweight back kicker.
Nice.
We were starting to round out our arsenal. On the next leg of our journey, we would explore an art that dates back to the samurai. One many claim is the most effective fighting style in all of MMA. And we'll train with a jiu-jitsu legend whose victory against a seemingly unbeatable family dynasty changed MMA forever. In the quest to find the greatest martial artist of them all, MMA attracts fighters from every background. But over the years, one style has arguably proven to be the most effective: jiu-jitsu. A ground fighting system emphasizing submissions, jiu-jitsu fighters have dominated MMA. More than 45% of all professional fights are won by submission, making jiu-jitsu artists some of the most successful of all MMA fighters.
Jiu-jitsu traces its roots to the samurai of 12th century Japan. But as Japan modernized in the 1800s, this ancient fighting style fell out of favor. It found new life abroad when jiu-jitsu expert Mitsuya Maeda migrated to Brazil. There, Maeda passed the secrets of jiu-jitsu along to a fighter named Helio Gracie, who molded Maeda's techniques into his own brand of jiu-jitsu.
And in 1993, Helio's son, Royce Gracie, shocked the martial arts world by using jiu-jitsu to win the first Ultimate Fighting Championship, employing a rear naked choke. Overnight, jiu-jitsu became MMA's dominant ground style, and for nearly a decade, the Gracie family remained undefeated in international competition. In fact, it wasn't until 2003 that an American fighter forced a Gracie to tap out in a grappling match. The defeated fighter, Royce's brother, Royler. The victor, my friend and mentor, Eddie Bravo.
Go! Go, watch the takedown.
You'll get a kick out of this guy, he's funny.
Watch it, sprawl! Nice. Recover guard, recover. Put him back in your guard. Oh, nice, nice.
Eddie Bravo.
Yo, yo.
What's up, man?
What's up, Jason? How you doing? You guys want to train? You ever done jiu-jitsu before?
No.
You're at Legends, gotta do jiu-jitsu.
Eddie operates out of Legends Gym in Hollywood, training nearly a dozen professional fighters, including myself.
All right, guys, break it up. I need some space. So you ready to do this?
Yeah, you know, they're really rolling around and going out of here, and I mean, it's obviously jiu-jitsu, but what does that have to do with MMA?
Yeah, mixed martial arts is a triathlon. You gotta have your striking, you gotta have your wrestling, and you gotta have your ground fighting. The wrestling takes you to the ground or prevents you from getting taken to the ground, and then the jiu-jitsu prepares you for when the fight ends up on the ground. Very important, crucial.
Eddie's brand of jiu-jitsu is a science based on principles of leverage, momentum, and flexibility. Eddie starts by showing us jiu-jitsu's principal defensive position. It's called the guard.
The first and most important thing in playing guard in MMA is not having the space here. This space is bad. He could punch me here.
All moves from the guard use your legs to control your opponent. Normally, having a 200-pound fighter laying on top of you doesn't sound like a good idea. But for jiu-jitsu guys, like Eddie, this is exactly where you want to be.
You must break down your opponent. The guard that I developed looks like this.
From guard, Eddie demonstrates a nasty submission move, the triangle choke.
This move is believed to have been invented in Japan, circa 1150 AD, by the samurai of the Kamakura shogunate. Despite its age, it's still a move that's effective in modern MMA.
And it's a move Rico's sure to try in our fight. It's something I definitely need to learn. You initiate the triangle by encircling your opponent's head with your right leg and crossing your left leg over the ankle, trapping your opponent's head and arm into a locked position. Finally, the fighter locks his hands behind his opponent's head and pulls.
Right for a triangle.
The move gets its power from the pressure exerted by your legs. The first leg imparts pressure to the carotid artery. The second leg, working in conjunction with your arms, optimizes that pressure, transforming you into a human vice grip. If your opponent doesn't tap out, he'll pass out. Much longer and permanent brain damage can ensue.
I tell you, that is absolutely no fun. It cuts off your carotid arteries. All the blood flow to your head slowly dissipates.
As a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, I can tell you that administering a triangle choke is a lot more fun than receiving one.
You're hugging your knee, beautiful, everything's squeezing, perfect.
It's not as easy as it looks. Flexibility with big legs like this is not an easy thing for me.
With Rico's jiu-jitsu skills, I'm sure I'll wind up on the mat at some point. And landing a triangle is a tall order. I need a move that will work for me. So Eddie showed me another devastating submission, the armbar. Like the triangle, the armbar was first mastered by the samurai and incorporated into modern judo in the late 19th century. I saw a similar move in our training at the Kyoto Police Department, so I know how this one works. Operating from guard, the fighter uses his legs for leverage and control. But instead of using the leg lock as a fulcrum for choking out the opponent, his inside arm is leveraged against his upper leg or hip. Grabbing the trapped arm, you then flip your leg over your opponent's face. And hyperextend his arm.
The armbar is a combination of two levers. While your legs push up on your opponent's neck, your arms apply downward pressure to his trapped wrist. The opposing forces turn the elbow into an ad hoc fulcrum point. The armbar can result in a complete destruction of the elbow's articulating structures.
That move can not only end a fight, but it could also end your career. That's why they call it snap and tap, because if you don't tap, your arm's gone.
The physics of this move worked better for me than the triangle choke.
Sit up.
So I want my foot in his back right here?
Instead of using both your arms to keep his posture broken, now you're using your leg and your arm so that you have a free arm here to stop the punches. So now the leg comes over his face. There you go. And now thrust your hips up, slightly, slowly.
Yeah, at the end of this move, the fulcrum point is actually right in the middle of his elbow, which will hyperextend his elbow. And if I really popped my hips, you'd see bone and sinew and all sorts of disgusting matter pop out the other side.
For me, this is a refresher course. But there's always room for improvement. An MMA fight's not just two dumb jocks beating each other up in a cage. It's a chess match. And knowing how to seamlessly flow from one submission move to another is like being able to make two moves at once on the chessboard.
I, for one, love triangle chokes. And I like the fact that if you miss a triangle choke, the armbar's right there. And if you miss an armbar, you can go back to a triangle choke.
With our fights fast approaching, our next destination would be Sin City. And a once-in-a-lifetime chance to train with the most famous mixed martial artist in the world.
Good, now you're gonna step back. 3, 2.
Las Vegas, a gambler's paradise, and home to some of MMA's most famous fights and fighters.